Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Bulldog Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Law and Parks Yoga. And check us out on all these platforms. Top story. There are 340 million Americans in this country. Are you ready for this? They estimate there's 242 million Latin Americans from Central America, South America, who are wanting to come now to the United States. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, obviously, I don't think they can all get in, but I don't know. This is insanity, what this president is doing. Insanity. NEWSOM on guns. You know, I find it interesting that these recent massive gun shootings are in California, where they had strict gun laws already. I mean, he says that the Second Amendment is the problem. Truly amazing. You know, this guy, just look at his picture. He thinks he's so handsome, and he's so smart, and he's so perfect. It cracks me up. I'm going to get the real scoop from Kim Guilfoyle about that guy. Children's mental health. The number one concern right now with American families is their children's mental health. Now, I'm a big tough guy. Can you imagine what children go through? All the stuff going on in their home with parents, all that stress. School, kids, activities, education, social media. I mean, it's a different kind of ball game, is it not? I mean, wow. The Pelosi Act. The Pelosi Act is Josh Hawley's joke because he's going to call it the Pelosi Act. It is supposed to stop congressmen and their families from doing insider trading. None like old Paul Pelosi. I'm telling you, they're all political gangsters. You know, you can't fix stupid on the Max issue. That's that famous redneck comedian's line, you can't fix stupid. You know, when you think about how they've handled COVID, how they push the vax, how they treat us, the use of masks and the mandates and everything they still go on, and, you know, we need more booster vax and this vax. I mean, it is truly, they literally just want us to be stupid like they are. And you can't fix it. Gas prices are on the rise again. Not good. DOJ sues Google because they have a monopoly on ads relative to the internet. Hello. You know, by the way, I truly believe that when they take action against these companies, it's really a scheme to really protect the tech companies, that they're in cahoots, because nothing ever happens to these people. Media on the Biden documents. I accidentally was watching CBS Evening News last night, and they roasted Biden on the documents, the money coming in from China and University of Penn. I was watching this and like, what the hell? I mean, things have changed a little bit. Of course, little too late. Germany is sitting in tanks. Spindley wanted this for his newscast. I go first. He can find another European news story, the way I look at it. DeSantis on Black History. Jesse Waters went through this really good, where he talked about that AP African history syllabus and textbook is really good all the way up to like 1900, and then it goes off the rails. And as DeSantis points out, you know, all the gender, all the weird stuff just comes flying in, has no place for American. I was thinking about African American history. Like DeSantis says, it's American history. I know African American history in this country. I know about the slave trade, the slavery, all the heroes fighting slavery, Frederick Douglass, the abolitionists, all through Reconstruction, you know, all those great George Washington Carver, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get into the civil rights movement. I mean, you know, I know that history. Why do we have to, and we ought to be taught to everybody. Why do we have to inject all the goofy stuff? We shouldn't. Pencil neck SCHIFF and Eric Swalwell, they said that they're going to get, this is revenge for keeping them off those intelligence committees. Look how much that guy lied about Trump. And he's supposed to be on an intelligence committee. And I just love saying it so much. I got to say, Eric Swalwell, fang, fang, bang, bang. Mike Pence goes, oops, I got documents too. Everybody's got documents. I posted yesterday that they found classified documents at Pete Davidson's apartment. The comment that I got going now that's really flying hard is, where would you hide your classified documents? It's funny. Hunter's laptop. Tucker Carlson dove into this really big last night. You know, there's an email on Hunter's laptop from 2014, right before this Ukrainian trip that was taken by him and Joe Biden. I mean, it just fits in perfect. And in this email, as this New York Post reporter reported, this email is unlike any other document that Hunter's put out. It clearly shows classified information was used by him in this email to his buddy Archer. And this is when he's on Burisma, the board. I mean, the chronological is perfection. So here's the deal. Hunter Biden sends out this detailed email about what's going on in Ukraine and how it affects Burisma. And then right after that, Joe Biden's captured on the video withholding a $1 billion guaranteed loan in order to get the prosecutor who's prosecuting Burisma fired. I mean, if you don't think these two people are gangsters, I mean, this is treason stuff. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Bulldogtv local news, always sponsored by Deters Law and Park Shogun. Remember, Jamie Spinley World News is going to follow this. Our top story is my poll. You can't make this up. Daniel Cameron's PAC. It was his PAC does a poll which shows him, despite myself, Qualls, Harmon, campaigning for a whole year, Kraft getting in, spending money. The numbers are the same as they were a year ago, for all intents and purposes. Joke city. And it was a push poll. They said, Daniel Cameron did it. I mean, it was a joke. What we had already had this plan. What I had done is I got this guy, this pollster friend of mine. And by the way, guys, I've done lots of polls. I used to run campaigns. I know about polls. All you got to do is you got to get the right sample, the random sample of Republican callers, geographically, demographically, you know, all those things, which we do. It's readily available to do that. My pollster was able to get that for me. You prepare the question sheets. We kept our poll really simple. It was random, every candidate, all 12 candidates' names, and they were rotated every time. And my group of volunteer phone callers called these Republicans, and we published the results. We did 1,000 sample, which means the margin of error is much smaller. You don't need to do 1,000 sample for a state poll. You can do 500. We did 1,000. So the poll shows me looking pretty good. It shows me in third place, right there with striking distance, and 35% undecided. Now, I got to ask you a question. Doesn't that make sense? You talk about an accuracy of a poll, that many would still be undecided. They got to be. And the other thing that we did is we did all registered Republicans, not just likely voters. And the reason why is I'm really pushing those Republican voters out there who aren't part of the establishment. My challenge is to get them to the polls. I get to them to the polls, I'm going to win. And that's a big challenge, but I feel confident because my campaign is unique. So we do this poll. We send it out to everybody in the state media. You can't, by the way, thank you, Austin Horn. Austin Horn tweeted it out. Somebody from the Lexington television station called somebody on my staff, and they said, you got to talk to Wesley Deters or Eric. They called Wesley. At the bottom of this poll results was my cell phone number and my email, willing to answer any question in writing. Text me or email me. You can't make this up. Not one member of the, after they spread around Cameron's BS poll, my legitimate poll done well and simple, not pushing anybody's agenda, not one member of the press called me or contacted me. Austin Horn at least tweeted about it. Do you believe that? That is how they treat. And I'll guarantee you, the state media is like, uh-oh, you mean Deters, the Trump guy, is going to... And see, they play this little game because of Cameron, who never says anything about Trump. Doesn't defend Trump, doesn't bash McConnell. He's trying to play that game with both of them, where I'm the anti-McConnell, pro-Trump person, and the media knows it. But they're trying to help Cameron. The media wants a Cameron-Beshear matchup. That's what they want. The other thing is if anybody thinks that these other candidates are better to beat Beshear than me, when I'm the only Republican candidate who's against McConnell, I'm the only Republican candidate for medicinal marijuana, I'm the only one who's willing to consider recreational marijuana, I'm the only candidate with those abortion exceptions, rape, incest, life of the mother, and I'm the only candidate who supports gaming. Now, and I'm the only candidate with this track record of fighting for people. So you telling me that these people would be better against Beshear in a general election than me? No way in hell. I'm clearly the best candidate to beat Beshear. Folks, I got a movement going. I want to share, I'll share with something relative to my social media. I guarantee you, none of my opponents, governor, Facebook, by the way, Daniel Cameron has been attorney general for 4 years. Now he's running for governor. He only has like 2,000 more Facebook friends on his governor page than I do. Now remember, I got all these other pages. I got 200,000 friends. But on my governor's page alone, I've reached 1.5 million people the last 28 days, 3.3 million impressions, engagement of 418,000, and added 2,000 net followers. Over 50,000 people, 5,000 a day, have watched that McConnell ad. And I can go through all these other ads. What's watching? Folks, I got a movement going out there. Begin with social media. Now, after the poll, you ready for the next drum roll? We have a texting campaign that's going on right now, sending out the McConnell ad. And we got another big surprise next week. I'm telling you, folks, stick with me. We are going to win this thing. And we're going to win it by me being me, by you helping me spread the word, and we're right on all the issues. And I'm going to be the people's champion for the state of Kentucky. A little long there on the top story, but I think it's important. By the way, nobody else in the media is covering it. All right, long crime. Unfortunate news for the missing Hamilton man who went to Mexico to visit his fiancée. DNA evidence confirmed he's one of 4 bodies found in a grave. They're now saying don't go to Mexico. Anytime I hear somebody go to Mexico, I'm like, really? The agency that oversees the Cincinnati Police Department has released a recent study of the office, 47% increase in serious complaints against officers, traffic stop interactions with largest culprit. Let me tell you what happens. I've been a victim of this with the KBA, and I feel sorry for the police. Once it gets out there that you're fighting this discipline baloney, everybody thinks that they can say whatever the hell you want about it. Any client wants their money back, they'll say, well, it feeds it. And it's just never ending. It's like the Trump thing. So the police, the public knows that police officers are under scrutiny. So anybody and everybody knows, I'm going to complain about police. I feel sorry for the police because it's like it's okay for there to be open season against them. Covington's Board of Commissioners approved yesterday to partner with a group to create a bicycle transportation plan. Really? UC received 32,000 applications for its campus this semester, up 22%. The university will see its most diverse freshman class in the near future. It's all about diversity. 43% increase in black students, 38 Latino. Kentucky State News. A Kentucky Student Advisory Council recently presented its ideas to improving safety in state schools. Number 1, promote the state stop tip line. Students' recommendations will be reported to the Capitol for consideration by the General Assembly. State officials have secured another site for Eastern Kentucky to build new homes. The 50-acre sites on higher ground, downtown Hazard. You know, my God, this is a joke how they've handled this. In Ohio State news, an uproar broke out on the Ohio House floor Tuesday when House Speaker Stevens refused to hear a motion. Woo! The motion came from a fellow Republican, but the interaction showed a rift in the Ohio House between Republicans. And of course, the former House leader is on trial at U.S. District Court. And in sports, NFL announced Kentucky native Chris Stapleton will be playing the Super Bowl, and the Reds' Scott Rowland made it to the Hall of Fame. Scott Rowland's one of those guys, good player, but I just don't think Hall of Famer. But that's for the sports writers. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Did you know Chris Stapleton's song, Tennessee Whiskey, was really a George Jones song? Next up, Jamie Spin, British anchorman Spinley.
Hello Bulldog Nation, today's headlines. An outback Australian town has reimposed a controversial policy directed to Aboriginal communities that restricts the sale of alcohol. The new law means no takeaway alcohol will be sold between the hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on all days except Saturday. The Human Court of Human Rights is set to announce whether it will air a Dutch case against Russia over the downing of flight MH17 in 2014. The flight was leaving Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur when it was hit by a surface-to-air missile. All the passengers had died. New Zealand has a new Prime Minister, Chris Hopkins, who has took over from Jacinta Ardern, who has officially stepped down from office. And in sports, Newcastle United beat Southampton 1-0 in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. And in Italy, Lazio beat AC Milan 4-0. Until tomorrow, have a fantastic day. Take care.